Tonight, we debate 8 MCU villains not named Thanos. Welcome and good evening to Debate 8. We have a great show for you tonight. We have a couple of great competitors too who are going to be here on the panel who are going to make this show absolute fire. They've been talking smack all day. It's LB from the Lonely Banter and Trinity from Second Street Marvel. Today we are doing MCU Villains, and of course the MCU villains not named Thanos, because let's be real, if we did a tournament with Thanos in it, then I'm pretty sure Thanos would probably win the best MCU villain. I mean, obviously it's debatable for sure, but we left him out, and tonight we have 8 awesome villains for you to debate and discuss. Our panelists are going to discuss it. I'm going to discuss it. We're going to go back and forth, but at the end of the day, at the end of the show, it's you guys here who are voting live in the chat. You are going to be the ones deciding on which one is our winner tonight. I don't want to have our guests waiting too long, so let me bring them both in right now. Gentlemen, welcome to the show. LB from the Lonely Banter, his first time here, and of course Trinity, I think this might be your second or third time here. Trinity from Second Street Marvel. Gentlemen, welcome to the show. How are you doing this evening?
Man, I'm ready. I'm doing great. I am pumped. I am here in the Fangexture zone.
That's right. Trinity, welcome back. How are you?
Oh, sorry. Telling everybody to make sure that they smash that like button. Oh, and I'm doing well. I hope you're all doing good today. Hey, you know what? They're releasing the Snyder Cut.
Yeah, they are. It's a big day, but big day for DC. But tonight, it's going to be a big day for Marvel. How about that for some transition there? We have a bracket here. What we do is we put 8 things in a tournament bracket, and you guys are going to be voting. Now, behind the curtains, I just want to say LB, Trinity, and myself have been basically discussing this bracket for about a month, trying to nitpick and figure out exactly who we're going to put on there. Gentlemen, I think you guys made some great choices here, so let's go ahead and let the people know exactly what we're doing. The first matchup of the first round is the number 1 seed Loki going up against the number 8 seed of Monger. The second matchup of the first round, the number 4 seed Ultron going up against the number 5 seed of Mysterio. Number 3 seed Vulture going up against the number 6 seed is our third matchup. And of course, the fourth matchup is the number 2 seed Killmonger, number 7 seed Red Skull. Gentlemen, let's get this debate on. I already see people in the chat saying that Loki is not really a villain. He's more of an anti-hero. So I'll throw 2 minutes on the clock. LB, the floor is yours. We have Loki, we have from the Avengers, and Ironmonger from Iron Man. How do you feel about these 2 competitors here?
Well, let's get this out of the way. All y'all that's saying Loki's an anti-hero, I don't want to hear that, man. Like, this man has killed, he has killed, and he has killed some more. You can't kill somebody and be an anti-hero or whatever it is that definition is. He is a straight villain. But with that said, I am running with the man, the Ironmonger, whatever his name is in the movie. I forgot. I'm new to this, so I can't remember his name, but Obadiah
anyway. Stane is his name.
Yeah, Obadiah Stane. If there was no Obadiah Stane, there is no Thanos. If there's no Obadiah Stane, there is no Loki. There is no villains in the MCU, because he is the one that created Iron Man. Yes, he is the one that forced Iron Man to build this suit in the cave. And I know all about caves because I live in a lonely cave, which you can see right now in the background. So let's just keep it all the way real. He accomplished his mission. Yes, he failed at the end, but Loki got y'all loving him because y'all think he's cute. I ain't heard not one person say Obadiah Stane is hot or sexy. Don't nobody want Obadiah Stane to keep coming back around. So essentially, that is my argument for why you should vote for Obadiah Stane. Like, come on, bro. Let's get Loki up out of here. Oh, Loki, he doesn't want to be a villain. He wants you all to love him, think he's cute and cool. So Let's make this big time upset, people. Obadiah Stane. Obadiah Stane, people.
That would be a massive upset. I see Landon in the chat saying Loki is better. Maverick says that means Loki has tricked you real good. And RC Scott says Loki is a god. So, man, this is going to be an uphill battle. You did make some excellent points there for Obadiah Stane. So it is going to be interesting to see what we can do. Now we'll go over to Trinity. Trinity, you have 2 minutes on the clock. What do you think about this? I think I know which way you're probably leaning, but go ahead, tell the people, Loki or Obadiah.
Well, first off, I just want to say,
don't say it.
That's just like your opinion, man. So yeah. Honestly, I gotta agree. I think Obadiah Stane, he was a little bit more sinister. I think Loki is I think he is a villain. He's more of an anti-hero, but I would say he's teeters a little bit more on the villain side. Obviously, as time went on, he went on to do more, became a little more human, I guess. But the thing is he's still the god of mischief. Every single time you think he's doing something good, he's up to something no good. Even there, when he's there on the ship with Thanos and he got choked, he got killed and all that stuff, he's up to no good, right? Like something happened there, right? Like obviously, he's getting his series coming up, so there's still more to be explored with this villain. But I do have to say, Loki is as good as he is at planning and everything. Obadiah Stane, he's still human. He's just a human guy with things at his, just resources, just the same as Tony Stark. But I will say that Obadiah Stane was a great villain, because I mean, if it wasn't for him, none of this stuff probably would have been popping off on Earth, right? I don't know. Hard to say. I mean, they did have the Tesseract on Earth and everything like that. That was, kind of left on Earth by Odin. It wasn't done by Loki. But I would say that Obadiah Stane definitely had a lot more to do with getting things started here in the MCU, and definitely a pretty good villain for being human.
I think the two of you are absolutely crazy. That's insane that both of you are going for Obadiah Stane. Look, I got to put the poll up, because I'm already like, if Loki, the #1 seed, loses in the first round, I'm shutting the stream down and we're not even going to continue. Let's start the poll. If this is your first time here, this is how it works. We vote right here live in the chat. If you want to vote for Loki, do !vote1 in the chat. There is a space between the word vote and the number. You can go ahead and see all the like LB just voted in the chat. He did !vote 8. Trinity just did 8 as well. See how they're doing it. If you do it right, what's it called? Streamlabs will tell you that your vote was counted. So Loki is !vote 1. Ironmonger is !vote 8.
Can I say one more thing, Adam?
You can. Please, especially because the voting system is not working. So go ahead. Hold on.
It happens.
I know.
The other thing I wanted to say about Obadiah Stane and Loki is Loki was simply just always trying to take everything over. He wanted to, rule the humans and all that stuff. He just wanted to be a king, a god. Obadiah Stane was literally trying to backstab and kill his best friend's kid.
He was. Do me a favor, right. Everyone in the chat, go ahead, vote again. For some reason, it wasn't working. It is working now. Streamlabs will tell you if your vote counted. So if you didn't see Streamlabs tell you to vote, that your vote counted, go ahead, just do it one more time for me. Yeah, no, you're insane, man. Look, he's fine. He's cool. He had a cool giant man, Iron Man suit. It was a great battle. It was a very fun. Iron Man still today, what is happening? Oh my God! We're getting a giant upset right now.
Let me just
this is all because of you, LB.
Good my argument
I know,
was.
no, because you pulled your audience.
Trinity agree with me.
Yeah, you did. Okay, so this is a tie. I still have to vote. Okay, I have 30 seconds to vote.
Look,
I'm not voting for Ironmonger. Come on, man. Loki's the prince of mischief. He's such a villain that the MCU has basically retconned him and turned him back into Avenger style villain. Like that's how much of a villain they want him to be. So
Fernanda, you're not voting right. Exclamation mark. Come on now. Don't fail me, people. Obadiah Stane.
Don't clerks to me. Don't
Come
clerks
on,
to me.
people.
oh, you know what? It really sucks, but the time has ended, and this one was very close. I can't believe that it was this close, but by the slimmest of margins, we're gonna have Loki move on. Now, I will say this, based on what you guys are saying and the way the chat was voting, I am very worried about Loki's future in this poll, in this debate. I don't think that he's necessarily going to make it past the second round, but we shall see.
What
Go
is
ahead.
wrong with y'all in the chat?
What do you mean? What's wrong? Loki is the obvious answer.
It's their secret love obsession with Loki. I get it. Tom Hiddleston's a good-looking dude. He's a great anti-hero, but
Hey, it's all
come
good.
on, man.
It's all good. All right, so Loki is moving on. Let's now go to the second matchup. Ultron versus Mysterio. This time we're going to start with Trinity first. I'm going to put 2 minutes on the clock for you, sir. Go right ahead.
Ultron versus Mysterio. Whew, man. You know, I gotta say this is gonna be an interesting battle, and I gotta say, between these two, I'm not sure who I'm gonna pick. Like, I might be talking myself into one here. Now, first of all, obviously we got Ultron, who was created by, dare I say, he was created by Tony Stark. And then you got Mysterio. You know, I just like Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio. Plus, the one thing that I liked about Mysterio in the movie is his kind of wackiness, his zaniness. It seemed kind of like, while he was like a decent villain, like he was also kind of silly and slapsticky and very comic booky. And that's what I want from Mysterio. I really do like the whole shtick they had there going on with that. But does that make him better than Ultron? Ultron, the guy who went out there and took over the Iron Legion and started to, man, you know, he was getting ready to destroy the world. What was Mysterio trying to do? What was he trying to do? He was just trying to get a hold of some toys and, you know, get a little bit of revenge on Tony Stark. No, I think, you know, I don't know. I think Ultron is a little bit better villain here. Though I've got to say, I think Far From Home was just a little bit better movie. It was just a little bit better movie. And also, I mean, Ultron, he took on a whole team. He took on the Avengers, not just a little kid in Tony Stark's suit, just some suit that Tony Stark made. The Avengers.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards you. You're making some really good arguments. It's hard to vote for Mysterio. I mean, I like Mysterio a lot, but you made some good points that he didn't necessarily do everything on his own. So that's gonna be a hard one to get over, I think, for some people. But now it's up to LB. LB, 2 minutes on the clock. How do you feel about this?
All right, people. Let's keep it all the way real here now. Have you seen Spider-Man Far From Home? Did you see that mid-credit scene, people? Yes. Spider-Man is now a vigilante. So that means mission accomplished by Mysterio. And that whole argument this guy across the screen from me, whatever, used for, you know, Mysterio not doing things by himself. He's a villain. Who cares? Now, Ultron, you might think he's a better villain because, you know, you like James Spader and he has a cool voice and he had the Pinocchio song in the trailer. But let's keep it all the way real, bruh. What did Ultron really do in Age of Ultron? He told a bunch of jokes. He was upset because his mind was like Tony Stark's. He whined, he cried. He wasn't supposed to be how he was supposed to be. He wasn't cool. He wasn't cool. He was a big time disappointment. Ultron is supposed to be big time, but no, he was the villain of half of the movie. Not the villain of the week, villain of half the movie. Jake Gyllenhaal did his thing as Mysterio, people. He has got people thinking that Spider-Man is a criminal. So let's keep it all the way real, people. How can you go with Ultron on this? Mysterio. You let me down the last round. Don't let me down this time. It's Mysterio. Think about the Spider-Man mid-credit scene, people. Think.
Wow.
Think.
You know what? That was some great points there. The just throwing in that mid-credit scene, that his whole plan at the end was to take down Spider-Man, and he accomplished that. Even in death, Mysterio accomplished that. Ultron accomplished a kind of crappy movie.
He fooled a 17-year-old kid.
Hey, you know what I say about them kids? F them kids, bruh.
All right. Well, I would say
I don't know how to vote.
I would say two very compelling arguments there. Let's throw up the vote. Hopefully this works for the first time out. All right, Streamlabs is up. We're great. We're on the roll for tonight. If you want to vote for Ultron, do exclamation vote 4 in the chat. Remember, exclamation, the word vote, there is a space and the number. If you want to do Mysterio, do exclamation vote 5 in the chat. Boy, all right. So you guys are split. I was definitely leaning Ultron until I gotta say, Trinity did put out, or LB did put out some good points. I think I still got to go with Ultron at the end. I mean, he did.
Did what? What did Ultron do? He told some jokes.
I mean, he was responsible, kind of, for killing Quicksilver, right? Wasn't he? Indirectly. So at least he had somebody die.
Bruh. No,
Maybe.
no.
I'm pulling strings like James Spader. I don't really. It's a tough call on this one for sure.
Fernanda, you need to vote. You're not voting right.
Yeah. Say Adrian.
Ultron
Adrian
basically caused Zemo.
Yeah. So Adrian said Ultron dropped the city. That's pretty hardcore. You got to admit.
And then he had a heart-to-heart with Vision at the end of the movie.
Hey, that was a good, touching scene. Okay. What's wrong with a heart-to-heart every now and then? All right.
This man had Mysterio convinced these people that Spider-Man, a child, is a criminal.
Well, to be fair, J. Jonah Jameson's been trying to do that for years, so he's just an extension of that. But time has ended. The number 4 seed of Ultron with a pretty convincing, commanding 75% is moving on to the second round. All right. This one's going to be a tough one, I think, too, because I got to admit, I'm pulling for Vulture on this one. Vulture is one of my favorite MCU villains, but I know that the man over here to this way is definitely going to be going Zemo, but let's go LB first. I'm going to put 2 minutes on the clock for you, sir. LB, we have Vulture, we have Zemo. Who do you got here?
I got Zemo, and I'm gonna give it to you basically like this.
Whoa.
You know, this whole argument this man Trinity used the last round about how, Mysterio's picking on a child. Well, Vulture was picking on a child and he failed. Argument over.
Argument over. That's it.
That's all I got.
Zemo is basically a glorified. Zemo's a loser. Come on, Zemo is an absolute loser, especially in this movie. And then he tried to bitch out and kill himself at the end. Like, what kind of villain does that? Defend that.
Succeeded.
Defend that, please.
Vulture is sitting in prison right now because he let a boy put him in prison. A boy defeated him. A boy. Zemo, mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished. I'm cutting your timer off. That's such crap. I'm done with you. You have no more time. Trinity, I'm putting 2 minutes on the clock for you. Go ahead. Confirm with LB, because I know you're rooting for Zemo here. So go ahead. Explain to the people why you haven't shut up about Zemo for 4 years. Uh-oh. I think you're muted. Did you mute yourself?
Yeah, there we go. Sorry.
There we go.
I've got to go with LB here. Obviously, Vulture is he's a good villain. He's good at what he does. Resourcing things, bringing people together. Getting them to work for him when they have all the know-how, and he just put up the money to get them together. You know what I mean? And then he couldn't fool a kid neither. A little kid, and he got caught by a kid that couldn't even make his own suit. Imagine that. But I will say he did beat him with his own little web shooters, with his own little homemade web shooters. But again, Zemo, guys, come on. Look at everything he's done. Look, he got all the Avengers, with the exception of 2 of them, fighting neck to neck. You know, they were ready to kill each other. And sure, you know, you can toss out the little stuff. Oh, he was going to kill himself at the end. Mission accomplished. He did what he needed to do. He didn't need to do no more. But you know what?
Yeah.
He lived.
Yeah.
He lived. Black Panther let him live. And, you know, he's not done. I mean, you did see what he said there at the very end. He was very confident, almost like he got caught on purpose. He's sitting there as Ross is sitting there interviewing. He's like, oh, how's it feel to know it didn't work? And he's like, to know that it failed. And he just looks up and says, did it? Because he knows it's not over. Zemo's done what nobody else could do. That's all you need to know.
All right. Well, here's the thing. I'll vote for Zemo in the future when he starts wearing the purple sock on his head. Until then, he's just a loser in some glasses to me. That's fine. I've been reading the chat the whole time. I got to say, I think I know exactly where this one's going. I'm going to
Vulture tough talk the little kid.
Yeah, brother. How you get props for that? You bullying a kid.
If you want to vote for Vulture, do exclamation vote 3 in the chat. If you want to do Zemo, not even Baron Zemo, just regular old Zemo, do exclamation vote 6 in the chat. Based on what I was reading in the chat, I think Zemo is going to run away with this for sure.
Like, straight up, the only reason you're going to vote for Vulture is because you think Michael Keaton did a good job. Get out of your feelings, bro. Let's keep it all the way real. He is not a better villain than Zemo.
No. And I love Michael Keaton. I love Michael Keaton, too. He's great. He was great in that role, too. When he's sitting there threatening that little kid, I'll kill you. I'll kill everyone you love. I love that scene.
Let's face it.
But
I somehow believe that the 2 of you have threatened a kid before. That's just the vibe I get. I don't know.
What kind of grown man threatens a kid? What kind of grown man tells a kid he's going to kill them?
I mean, what did the kid do? You know what I mean?
He put him in prison. He put him in prison. He couldn't even kill a kid.
Yeah. He's also, trying to get in with his daughter. I mean, that would put any father over the edge, right?
Zemo's burning people's heads in hot boiling water, upside down, killing people in bathtubs while getting breakfast from the hot person at the hotel. Yeah. Yeah.
All good points. Can't argue with those points. And guess what? The people agree with you because Vulture is losing to an upset of the number 6 seed Baron Zemo. I think Zemo might make a nice run in this tournament for sure. So let me go ahead and add Zemo to the bracket. Man, that was a heated one for sure.
It's about time y'all in the chat did the right thing.
76% of the vote. Zemo's moving on. All right, so now we are going to the final matchup of the first round. We have the number 2 seed of Killmonger going up against the number 7 seed Red Skull Trinity. We go with you on this one. 2 minutes on the clock. What do you say for this one?
Okay, we're going to start with these 2 minutes and we're going to argue this one, but I got to say one thing. Vulture has a code and is doing it for his family. Zemo's family was killed. Okay, now getting on here. Killmonger. God. Was Killmonger really a villain? Who was he a villain to? The nation of Wakanda? Okay, sure, he wanted to kind of enslave the world. He wanted to put his people on top, put them in charge of everything. He wanted to do all of that stuff, right? Hey, Fernanda. All right. Anyway, I think he was a good menacing villain. He was smart. He kind of came in and took everything over. He ascended to the crown to be the king of Wakanda. And then you got Red Skull. He's one of the most iconic villains of all time, man. Seriously. Like, did you see the things that he done? If it wasn't for Red Skull, nothing would be going on in the MCU right now. He was the one looking for the Tesseract. Him, along with the godfather of the MCU, Dr. Arnim Zola, created this new element with technology that they weren't limited by of their time. And this single element changed the world. We got so many things that came out of them taking the Tesseract and harnessing the power of it. And then now we got, Red Skull. He's still around. Red Skull's not even dead. So how anybody can actually think that Killmonger, who's dead, by the way, he got killed? It's ridiculous. Sure, he's more of an anti-hero too. We all kind of sympathize with some of the things he was trying to do. He was only trying to do good for his people, but Red Skull? Hail Hydra.
Well, to be fair, I think they're both dead, but they both went on to different planes of existence. So I want to fact check that for sure, but I think that both died, but then they moved on. So but hey, that's some good points. I'm not surprised going for Red Skull there, because I know that you have the Arnim Zola connection that you speak about on a daily basis, so you got that going for you. LB, which way are you going? Are you going Killmonger? Are you going Red Skull? 2 minutes on the clock for you.
Well. I was leaning towards Red Skull. I was. But I just had to think. Killmonger. Sorry, no, I can't do it. I can't do it. Red Skull is the better villain. He is. Look, people. I know y'all was so excited because Black Panther was the first black movie in the MCU and all this stuff, and you thought Killmonger was doing such a great job because we got some whack villains in some movies before, and Michael B. Jordan talked like this in the movie. All of you people always screwing us over. I'm coming to Wakanda to take over because I'm your king now. Well, let me tell y'all something. All of those fake speeches and whatever, and saying a bunch of fake deep stuff does not make you a better villain than Red Skull. Let's think about this. Red Skull got Captain America to crash a ship and go get himself frozen in ice for many, many years. Killmonger, he didn't do that. He didn't. Sure, he killed his side piece, baby mama, whoever that woman was. Sure, he killed whatever his name was. I forgot his name, but Andy Serkis' character. Sure, he did that.
Claw.
Sure, he had a funny haircut. Sure, he beat up Black Panther. But in the end, what happened when they was all fighting in that PS4 CGI style graphics? He lost. He did not take over Wakanda. And what was his whole issue? Well, T'Chaka killed his brother, so he had daddy issues. Why? Cry me a river. Grow up. How are you crying because your daddy got killed? You need to get over that, bruh. Get over it. If you was really the villain, you would have killed all those people in Wakanda, got them out of there, and sat on the throne alone.
Man, that was good. That was a good 2 minutes right there. Both of you make excellent points. I don't know how the chat's going to go with this one though, because I think people are leaning Killmonger, but you might have convinced some people. So we got to see. Let's start the poll right now. If you want to vote for Killmonger, do exclamation vote 2 in the chat. If you want to do Red Skull, do exclamation vote 7 in the chat. I don't know, man. I was reading this vote. A lot of people going both ways here. Like Lavis says all that. And what did Red Skull do? Lose to his own hubris. Mike Porter says compelling points. Instead of me turning the chat, the panelists are turning me. See, you guys are doing a good job. You guys are convincing people one way, but man, look at this Red Skull. No, I think we're gonna have another upset on our hands here.
Look,
I agree. I agree with Tara. As well, Michael B. Jordan, he's fine as hell. He's certainly more. He certainly gets me a little more hot in my trousers than the Red Skull does for sure.
Oh, what, that face doesn't do it for you?
Red Skull's a better villain.
Look at that face. That's sexy. I'd like to wake up next to that every morning. That's nah. I'm good with that. Yeah,
I'm comfortable in my sexuality. I can say when a man's good looking, it's okay.
Oh no, I was talking about Red Skull, not not Michael B. Jordan.
Red Skull's all right too. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. I mean, have you ever seen his daughter?
What about me?
I would say you're above Red Skull.
Oh, well, thanks.
You're not a movie star and you didn't get killed fighting Black Panther.
Well,
Oh, that's funny. All right, the time is up, and we have another upset tonight. 72% of the vote going for Red Skull. Wow, this is. I was talking to LB before we started. I said I guarantee that we're going to have a couple upsets tonight, and the chat did not disappoint for sure. So let's go back to the bracket. We've made it through the first round. The first couple went chalk, but the last two certainly did not. So let's take a look at where we are right now. We have the number 1 seed Loki going up against the number 4 seed Ultron, and the number 6 seed Zemo going up against the number 7 seed of Red Skull. This is a good one. All right, so let's jump into Loki versus Ultron. We are going to start with, I think, LB on this one. So LB, here's your timer. How do you feel about this one?
man, this is tough because like both of them, like they soft at the end. Like Ultron went out soft. Loki. Okay, I'm gonna argue for Loki. Why I say this is, yeah, he's your anti-hero, but he still killed a lot of people. And when he died, he wasn't there having a heart-to-heart with Thanos. He was trying to kill Thanos, and before he got his neck snapped in half, choked out, he let Thanos know, "You ain't nothing, bruh. You ain't nothing." And then got his neck snapped. Ultron, he's there trying to have tea and coffee with Vision and having some fake deep conversation. It's like, whatever, bruh. And let me tell y'all something. Let me tell you something. Even though Loki tells jokes, he tells a lot of jokes. But he killed way more people than Ultron. I mean, like, man, I don't even know how to make a legit debate between these two. I don't even like both of them as villains, man. Ultron disappointed me in this movie. So I'm going to be in my feelings and let y'all know how disappointed I was about Age of Ultron. Look, he ain't a better villain than Loki. He's not. That's all I got, man. Screw both of them.
Awesome. Okay. Let's go into the chat and see what people are saying. We got Wu-Tang. Russell says Loki going all the way. Elite thinking Ultron. RC's thinking Loki. Spider-Man show's got Loki. Spencer Loki. It's a lot of love here for Loki. Jason says Ultron shouldn't have made it out of the last round, so Loki is the ultimate villain. I think probably you might agree. Lavis also says Loki always trying to kill somebody. That's true. Loki is always trying to kill somebody, and even when we get that Loki show, that's going to be even more so. I bet this would be a lot different if that Loki show had come out. If we do this again after the Loki, just because I'm telling you, they're turning him back into a real villain. He's not going to be the anti-hero that you think he is. All right, Trinity, we'll go to you. 2 minutes on the clock. How do you feel about this matchup?
Well, here's the thing is, Loki is that good anti-hero and all that stuff. He started off bad, and then he's not America's ass. He's Asgard's just bad guy. He's the god of mischief. He's great in a lot of ways. He's menacing, he's evil, he does all kinds of things. Ultron is a confused 6-year-old. It's like if I gave my child a phone to get on the internet and said, "Here, go learn about the world and become the president of it." That's going to work out good. That's all the Ultron is. He's just a 6-year-old who got a hold of his parents' tablet and got all pissy and wanted to go out and destroy everything because that's the cool thing to do. I'm going to rebel against the world. Okay. Loki, he's done, I would say he's done a lot more bad stuff. Now, we are talking about villains here. Again, villains. Ultron nearly destroyed the world. Loki, he's just trying to take it over. He don't want to kill everybody. He wants to rule them all. And he's got one Tesseract to rule them all. I don't know. Does that work here? Is that?
It's good. It's close. It's fine. I'll allow it.
Yeah, I would say as a villain, I would say just if we're going just by villain status, I would say Ultron is more villainous, but Loki is he's just more dominating because he actually thinks for himself and he acts upon his own volition and has his own thought process. So as much as I got to say that Ultron is probably the better villain, I think that I've got to hand this one to Loki.
All right. Let's see. Some people in the chat. Fernando says, "Don't you dare choose Loki." Trev says Gotti is such a ripoff of Brainiac, talking about Ultron, I'm assuming. Jason says Ultron was not a villain. He's the savior we all need, or we all deserve. So a lot of love both ways. I think this is going to be a lot closer than everyone thinks. So let's throw up the poll if you want to vote for Loki to move on to the finals. Do exclamation vote 1. If you want Ultron to make it to the finals, do exclamation vote 4 right here in the chat. I don't know which way I'm leaning. You know, I think originally I would have went Loki, but I think you guys made some good points about Ultron too. I don't know. I really like Ultron. I really dislike the movie a lot. Like, I really dislike this movie, but I really like the character. I wish, I've read a lot of Ultron in the character or in the comics, and I really enjoy the character. So I kind of wish that they gave him a better movie to be in. And I think that really hurts his value here in his stock. So I think, I don't know.
I must say this. I see a lot of people in the chat saying Ultron almost Ultron tried. Almost doesn't count, people. You get the job done or you don't. How can you be a great, effective villain if you fail?
Yeah.
No, that's a good point. You could be like Zemo and try to kill yourself at the end and really bitch out, but hey, we're not there yet. We'll get back to that.
He did what he had to do. What else did he have to live for?
I was laughing at this comment. Jacob Anders' review says, "So Loki is the millennials villain." Hey, I'm not a millennial, but I'll tell you one thing is, it's not that at all. But if we're talking comic books here, oh yeah, I would say I'm probably going Ultron all the way.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Yeah, and that's the thing, and I think that's what really hurts Ultron in this one is that it's the I think the movie that he was in really hurts his stock. Definitely. Yeah. But it doesn't matter because time is up, and with a stunning, crazy percentage here, Loki. Oh, wait. Maybe if I hit save, that might be a good thing. There we go. All right.
I'm laughing at how Fernando has voted wrong each and every time. But she's here to support. That's what's up.
Yeah. To each their own.
Yeah.
Update and refresh. All right, well, Loki is moving on to the finals. I don't know what's happening here. Oh, there we go. Let's try this. Loki. Do 80. Oh, I messed this all up. All right, here, we'll just do this. Well, ready? Boom. This is live, folks. This is live. Cool. Okay. Yeah. Well, Loki's going on. So let's go now to our next matchup. The two upsets of the night. Zemo going up against Red Skull. Trinity, we're going to start with you on this one. I'm going to put the timer up for you, sir. This has to be a Sophie's choice for you because these are your two favorites. I know that much. So go ahead and make a hard decision here.
You know, I wish my wife was here so I didn't have to Cobain myself. She could Courtney me. Because you know what? This is a hard decision. Like I said earlier about Zemo, he's evil. He's menacing. He went out there and devised the whole plan to get the Avengers at each other's necks, ready to they were out for blood. You know what I mean? They were out for blood. Zemo turned everything, like he'd done something that nobody else did. The only thing he did is, you know, he caused all that tension, got everybody all pissed off at each other's throats. This is something that was going to happen with all these people anyway, okay? That was going to happen regardless of whether Zemo entered the picture or not. It was always going to happen. They were going to have some differences. Oh yeah, but he made it happen, and he done it in such a great way. He was so genius. But once again, man, I'm telling you, Red Skull, this guy, I mean, both of these guys are the iconic villains. Look at these two dudes. Imagine once we get that guy right there, you know, in the Falcon and Winter Soldier series, but we're talking about what's happened so far, right? And that's why we're talking about Red Skull, who, as I said earlier, if it wasn't for this, man, we wouldn't have Tony Stark. We wouldn't have everything going on in the MCU right now that we have if it wasn't for the work that Red Skull and Dr. Arnim Zola put in, the footwork. None of these people would exist. Probably not even Captain America himself.
That's a great point. I mean, basically, if it wasn't for Red Skull, we have no Captain America. That's a tough one to overcome. So that was excellent points right there, Trinity. LB, it is now your time. I'm going to put 2 minutes on the clock for you, sir.
Right.
How do you feel about these guys?
Well, you know, Red Skull is the reason why Steve Rogers and Peggy Carter never reached third base or home plate or hit the home run grand slam. He is the reason behind that. So any grown man can understand that and say, I'm going to side with Red Skull. But when you're a lonely man, you don't worry about women. So let's get this all out the way. Let's just keep it all the way real here. Zemo is the reason why Tony Stark got all up in his feelings and turned on Steve Rogers, the most noble, iconic, nicest, most American man. He turned on him because Baron Zemo came up with the most sinister plan. He had everyone thinking that the Winter Soldier was behind killing T'Challa's daddy. He had Mr. T'Challa forgetting that he was from Wakanda, his accent changing in that movie. He had him so much in his feelings, he was talking differently. He was wanting to murder a man, and that is not how Wakandans act. Do you remember when Steve Rogers was an inch of taking away Tony Stark's life? That was because of Zemo. Everything was because of Zemo. He broke the Avengers up. He broke the band up like the Beatles. He had Tony Stark afraid to call Steve Rogers, despite Steve Rogers giving him a phone and saying, you can hit me up anytime, bro. We good. How can you not say that a man that did all of this is the better villain? Not the better villain. Vote right, people.
Wow. That was incredibly compelling. You may have turned me on that one for sure. Let's see if you turned the chat though, because it's time to vote. If you want to do Zemo to get to the finals, do exclamation vote 6 in the chat. If you want to do Red Skull to make it to the finals, exclamation vote 7 in the chat. Man, people are going nuts here. RC Scott said, I'd be more scared if Red Skull was rushing up on me. Let's see. Lava says, damn, now I got to vote Zemo because of that accent change. Okay. Sith Lord says, Zemo done the most damage internally. Red did more damage on a global scale. So we're talking about, you know.
That's false.
Why?
Zemo broke up the Avengers. Who is going to stop the world from getting destroyed? Ant-Man?
If it wasn't for Red Skull, the Avengers wouldn't even exist.
Well, and if it wasn't for the Tesseract, Red Skull wouldn't exist. I don't know.
I gotta say, it still might exist if you didn't have Captain America. It'd just be a little different. So I don't know if that's necessarily true.
Who's going to save the world? Ant-Man, Trinity? Huh? Ant-Man?
Yeah, they wouldn't have needed Ant-Man. Ant-Man wouldn't have existed if it wasn't for Red Skull.
If it wasn't for Odin being stupid, Red Skull wouldn't be around.
Good point.
Yeah.
But that doesn't help Zemo any.
No, it doesn't. But It doesn't matter because Zemo got enough of what he needed because Zemo is actually moving on to the finals with 64% of the vote. I'm okay with that. I'm not really surprised. I think that based on how the chat was going, based on how you guys have been talking tonight, man, Zemo might pull away with this whole thing. Now, I apologize. I have Zemo here at the end. I did a little miscalculation. There is no rigging right now, so don't worry. Just look at the right above me, right below me. Number 1 seed, Loki, going up against the number 6 seed of Zemo. I mean, we made it to the end here, and this certainly is going to be a good one. So let's jump into it right now. Loki, Zemo, LB, we're going to start with you. This is the finals. This determines who is the best. I have a feeling I know exactly which way the two of you are going. It might end up being a landslide, but I know that the chat has been on the side of Loki this whole time. So go ahead, tell the people why it's Zemo over Loki.
Look here, chat. I'm talking directly to y'all. Y'all been trying me tonight. Y'all been tripping with this Loki stuff. I know you like Loki. He's cool. You think he's cute. You like his hair. You like the colors he wears. He makes you laugh. He makes you feel all warm and fuzzy inside. But let's keep it all the way real. Let's compare the Avengers movie and Civil War. Loki had the Avengers fighting for like 5 minutes. You know, Iron Man and Captain America didn't fight in the Avengers. Captain America told him to put on the suit. That lasted like half a scene. Zemo, Civil War, he had Tony Stark within an inch of his life. Inch of his life. Inch of his life, people. How can you sit there and say, when you're comparing the two, that Loki's a better villain? Y'all were saying at the beginning of the stream, Loki's not a real villain. He's an anti-hero. So if he's an anti-hero, how are you going to sit here and vote for Loki to be the second best villain in the MCU? No. Do the right thing. Vote for Zemo. I'm done.
I got to say, there's a couple interesting points in here that people were making in the chat. I got to read them out. Russell says an evil god of mischief or a loser who plays mind games with people's feelings. I like that comment, Russell. Jacob Anders says it's Loki. Before Thanos, he was the MCU villain, which is very true. Before Thanos was around, everything MCU was all about Loki. Let's see. We got Tara who says Zemo takes it. RC says it has some nice hair. Who has nice hair? Can't be me. Can't be Trinity there. Maybe LB under that hat. He's got the nice hair. Russell also says it was a whole invading war in Avengers. So he got that coming.
Seriously, did Loki succeed? No.
Well, I don't know. So that's you made some excellent points. It's now 2 minutes on the clock. Trinity, your last chance to tell the people why you are voting for Zemo over Loki.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've honestly got really nothing to say. I mean, I think LB pretty much laid it out. I mean, like I said, we all love Loki. He's a good guy. He's a bad guy. You want him on your team. You don't want him on your team. You know who you do want on your team? Zemo, because he gets stuff done. You know what else he done? I mean, he ended up. This is why Red Skull should have won. You know why? Because Zemo ends up joining Hydra and everything in the first place. Yeah, he ends up joining on with them. But you know what? Zemo gets stuff done. He gets it done. He wants to pit people against each other. He does it. He wants to go out there on a kill crazy rampage, getting revenge because his family was killed. He does it. He's not just sitting there whining about, oh, I was taken away from my family and raised in privilege and all kinds of stuff. You don't do that. You don't do that. He's lived through some real hardships. He's hardened by the world. He's been forged by the world out there. And he's a doer, damn it. He's a doer. So, you can like Loki all you want. He's good looking. He's got those long locks of hair. Yeah, he's great. He's good. He's fun. We all love him. He's not the guy that you take home to mommy and daddy. But you have fun with him, don't you? Don't you? Zemo is daddy, damn it.
Zemo would get crushed by any of these superpowered beings in an instant, okay? Loki at the end of the Avengers got smacked around by the Hulk like a whipping doll. Okay, if that happened to Zemo, his skull would just be crushed on the ground, blood everywhere. He's a mere mortal. You're up against a god who has died multiple times and come back. Has the ability to change his appearance. I mean, he's just
He died.
But what does all that have to do with being a better villain?
When did he die?
No, I'm just saying. When he died, when his neck got snapped or
That's the only time he
choked out,
died.
whatever. Okay, I just said he died. Did I? I'm confused now. You confused myself. All right, that's it. We're done debating. I think you should vote for Loki. These guys think you should vote for Zemo. But again, and the best part about this show, it's not up to us, because then I'd lose. So maybe I actually have a chance to win on this one. You guys are voting. If you want to vote for Loki, do !vote 1 in the chat. If you want to do Zemo, do !vote 6 in the chat. Oh man. Okay, this is gonna be a tough one.
Don't clerks to me now.
No, Trev.
Don't clerks to me.
Look at Trev. I abstain.
Exclamation
Come on, Trev.
mark. Vote space 6. Hey man, if y'all vote for Loki, y'all tripping. Y'all don't know what a real villain is. Like y'all
Man,
all
no.
Yo, just because we're picking the better and the correct answer does not mean we don't know what we're talking about. Okay.
Y'all thinking with your reproductive organs, not with your brain. Who you taking into war with you?
Like Zemo succeeded in his plan. Loki
He's a
did it.
military man. Loki's a spoiled brat.
Zemo succeeded. How can you say Loki is a better villain?
Well, I'll say this. I think, to me personally, I think that the Avengers were teetering on going into a civil war anyway, and he just sort of nudged it. He didn't necessarily. I don't think he was the mastermind. Okay, so he's getting a lot of credit.
And Loki wasn't the mastermind. Thanos was behind him. Boom! Yeah.
All right, down to the wire. We have, oh man, by literally a one vote, Loki getting upset again to Zemo is just pulling out the stops tonight. So it looks like the number 6 seed of Zemo has made it to the finals. Zemo coming out with 52% of the vote. Zemo has been crowned our winner. Man, that probably was the closest finals we've ever had. We've been doing this. I think this might be the 23rd episode, either 22nd or 23rd episode. Man, that was the closest finals. That was awesome. You guys brought the heat tonight. LB, Trinity, thank you both for coming on the show. I don't know that I'm happy with the result, but I'm sure you guys are for sure.
Hey, the real always outlasts the fake. Zemo was a real villain. Loki was an anti-hero. Remember that, people?
And Trinity, you gotta be happy about this result.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'll just have to say that I think justice here has been served. The only thing that we could have done better is that Red Skull could have been a part of that other bracket, so it could have been Red Skull and Zemo duking it out for the best villains, because Red Skull beats Loki.
Yeah, well,
you guys did good tonight.
Maybe. I mean, this was literally came down to one vote, so I don't think it could have been any closer for sure. So it's good on you, chat. Good on you for sure. LB, thank you so much for finally coming on the show. I know we've been working it out for a little while, and you have an open ticket to come anytime you want. You did awesome, and I appreciate you even taking the time tonight to come hang out and chat movies with us.
Man, thank you, man. This was a lot of fun, man. And I just got to say, shout out to everybody that came to the chat and voted. And shout out to y'all for doing the right thing. Because if y'all did the wrong thing, I was coming for y'all. Straight up.
Yeah, we would have gotten 10 videos in the Lonely Cave about how angry you would have been. So,
Wakanda forever, people.
Trinity, my man, thank you for dropping by and bringing that sweet MCU villain knowledge you had.
Yeah, man. Thanks again for having me on. Always a pleasure to be here on your show. Ever since I found it, man. I'm telling you, I love what you do here. It's fun. It's interactive. You can see by the people here in the chats. We're all, excuse me. We're all here having fun.
Mm-hmm.
So if you guys are watching this, make sure you go out there and you tell your friends, tell your mom, tell your dad, tell your sister, tell your brother, tell everybody out there. Tell them to get here and have some fun talking about movies and casting their vote.
That's right.
Why would you not want to be more here? Look how many of you are here having fun doing the show. Imagine if we had every single one of your friends out here watching too, having fun every single Wednesday.
Every week.
Yeah, I gotta say, the people we get in chat every week are some of the best people, because we definitely have disagreements, but we do it in a great way. And I love the passionate arguments in there, and it never gets personal. It's just a good fun time. So yeah, I give a round of applause to everyone in the chat, because you guys are awesome too. All right, gentlemen, thank you so much for hanging out. We'll catch you soon, guys. Most of you already know who these guys are, but if you're new here and you have no idea who they are, definitely subscribe. They both have YouTube channels. LB is at the Lonely Banter. Trinity is the Second Street Marvel. All the descriptions are below, so definitely just go ahead, subscribe to their channels if you haven't already. I promise you, it's free, so it doesn't even matter. But even if you had to pay, it would be worth your time and your money. So go check these guys out. They're some of the best YouTubers out there for sure. Gentlemen, thank you so much for hanging out tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having us, man.
All right, that's it. Again, chat, thank you so much for hanging out. This was such a fun episode. This was awesome. Remember, every weekday morning, Monday through Friday, we do a morning movie news show. Come check us out. We're doing another one tomorrow. But definitely come back next week. We'll have another awesome debate. Have a good one.